Hey friends, happy Christmas Eve. It is December 24th, Tuesday, and it is our 24th Vlogmas, second to the last Vlogmas episode in this series. Got my little Santa hat on for the moment. But yeah, we are gonna do something slightly special, one of my other favorite treats that I love to eat. But first, we have to get our last chocolate advent calendar done. A little sad about that, but won't be the last time we'll be doing something like this. And it is our final day of our chocolate advent calendar. So let us open that last box. Dead center, right here on the window. And our final chocolate is a teddy bear. And this one's a actual like 3D-ish bear. There he is, little teddy bear. Hollow in the middle. Well, there you have it. All windows have been opened. And now, on with today. And here we are, we're gonna cook up something really delicious on this Christmas Eve. Kind of a classic treat, so to speak. It's originally from Spain, but of course migrated over to a lot of Latin American countries, in particular Mexico, and then moved over here to the United States. It is coated in cinnamon sugar, and sometimes dipped in a delicious chocolate sauce. What I'm talking about is churros. We'll be making churros on this Christmas Eve. Now the type that we're used to here in the Americas is the one that's coated in cinnamon sugar. Now I remember when I went to Spain, they didn't have the cinnamon sugar around it. They just had it with a chocolate dipping sauce. We're gonna make both versions, but essentially the dough itself is pretty much the same. Traditionally, from what I read, churros are made with three basic ingredients: as salt, flour, and water. Now, from all the recipes I was looking online and kind of gathering, a lot of them use a lot of the same ingredients. Without the slightly added ingredients, it would be hard to, form the shapes and whatnot. So this is kind of the home version that I've gathered from the many recipes I researched. So with that, let's get started with the ingredients. You're gonna need 1 cup of water, 1 cup of all-purpose flour. This is the unbleached kind. If you have the regular, all-purpose flour that is bleached, that should be okay as well. 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I have 2 extra tablespoons here just in case, but you only need 2 tablespoons. And you'll need 2 eggs. I have a couple extra here just in case as well, but essentially for this recipe, you're gonna need about 2. I moved the rice cooker out of the way so I have a little bit more elbow room to mix the dough. To make the dough, it's pretty straightforward. You're gonna need a saucepan for this one. And to start, let us turn on the fire to medium-low. And you're gonna take your water and your butter and heat that up. I'm gonna stir that just a bit and help melt the butter. And add your sugar. Stir that just a little gently to mix that all in. And you're gonna bring this mixture to a light boil. And you're gonna constantly stir it so that the sugar doesn't stick to the pan. Now, once it's kind of boiling a little bit, you're gonna add your flour and salt. Now what you want to do is mix it all together until it's like a dough ball. Now I've seen some people add vanilla to add some flavor to the dough. That's completely optional. Okay, now we're getting to where it's nearly a ball consistency. Alright, now once you get it to like a doughy consistency like this, you're going to flatten it out just a little bit. And this is where you will add your eggs. You want to mix it in one at a time. And this is where you want to turn off the fire as well, because you don't want to cook the egg while you're mixing it, but you can let the residual heat remain. It'll kind of look like it's not combining at first, but just keep mixing it and then eventually it'll mix into the batter. Add the other egg. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of flour just to combine it all together. Okay, I think the dough is just about ready. Okay, we're gonna let this cool for just a bit. And while that cools, I'm gonna clean up these dishes. So now we're gonna put the dough into a piping baggie. If you don't have one, a Ziploc bag would do. And if you don't have one of these, which is like a piping tip, you could just, cut the edge of it and use it as, the shape of the churro. Cut the corner off. We're gonna use the glass trick that I used when I was making those gingerbread houses. Carefully put the dough in the bag. And then what you get will look something like this. It doesn't look like exactly a cone, but it's good enough to, get the dough through. All right, we will set you aside for a second while we prepare our pan. Now, let's prepare our frying oil. For this one, I'm using vegetable oil, but you could use whichever oil you prefer. And we'll turn the heat on. Now this is a perfect time to prepare your cooling rack or whatever you want to use to let the churros cool down and let the excess oil drain off. All right, here's the dough. Now, dough and other stuff, if it gets it on your shirt, it's pretty easy to take out. Fried oil, on the other hand, that's a whole other story. So, get the apron on. Here, I think our oil is just about ready. So now, let's give this a go. Am I nervous? Maybe, because it's my first attempt at making the churros, so. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. Well, my initial bag exploded because I accidentally punctured it. So let's try this again. Now you're gonna want to cook these for roughly 3 to 5 minutes. Just keep an eye on them until they're like nice and golden brown. Nice and golden brown. All right, so here is our cooked batch of churros. It's all different sizes and shapes, you know. It's cute, it makes it unique. It's roughly about the same length in terms of each piece and how they cook, so we're pretty good here, letting that cool. As you can see, I have a paper towel underneath my cooling rack, so that way any excess oil can drip off. And now let us prepare our cinnamon sugar mixture. You're gonna need about half a cup of sugar and about a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And you're gonna mix that all up. Now you have to let the churros cool for a little bit, but not too much where it's kind of like cold at room temperature. You still want it to be slightly warm so that the cinnamon sugar could stick to it. Now if you're gonna make this ahead of time and plan to reheat it later, don't put the cinnamon sugar on it at all. When you reheat it and it's warm, that's when you put the cinnamon sugar on it. So just save it plain in a airtight container, and then when you're ready to reheat it, warm it up and then add the cinnamon sugar after that. So essentially with the cinnamon sugar, it'll look just like this. It looks really delicious right now. Now for the chocolate sauce, you could use whatever you want to use. There's really no one way to dip the churros. In our case here today, we are going to use some evaporated milk and this chocolate from DaVinci that a friend of ours gave to us. So this is perfect. It's dark chocolate unsweetened. So we're gonna melt this up and see how it goes. Put this right here. We'll make it 6. Make it nice and chocolatey. Let's turn this fire off. Boop. Now since I removed the chocolate from the sauce, I added a little bit of almond milk to kind of thin it out just a little more, and it kind of looks a little more soupy like this. And that's the consistency you want from your chocolate. And there you have it, the churros and chocolate. Now we got 2 kinds. We got the plain one without the cinnamon sugar, and of course the one with the cinnamon sugar. So you got your choice for people who don't want it too sweet and just want it plain. So now let's give this a try. Ooh, look at that. Nice and fluffy on the inside there. And the chocolate. Ooh, look at that. Oh, really good. Not bad for my first try. Well, we will call it here for day 24 of Vlogmas. Thank you so much for joining me these last 24 days. I really do appreciate you guys coming back each day and checking out what places or things we're gonna do for the holiday season. I really do appreciate it. But we'll end it here for today at least. And finally, I wish you all a very merry, happy Christmas and holidays wherever you are in the world, if you celebrated already or if you're just celebrating it at this moment. Now, if you missed any episodes in this series, I will put the link for yesterday's episode here as well as the playlist. But until then, this is where we go our separate ways. So thank you so much once again. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know in the comments. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.